Welcome back, everyone. The Lakers finally added the backup center that they've been looking for, and thankfully, it turned out to be the one that many of us wanted. If you have not heard by now, they were able to bring back former Laker Thomas Bryant on a one-year veteran minimum contract, and regardless of how you feel about him, you cannot deny that being an absolute steal. I've been mentioning him as an option for them for roughly 2 months now, and I even dedicated an entire video to him, but I had very little hope that they would actually get him for a minimum contract. I mean, I did bring it up as a possibility in that video, but that was mostly me being optimistic, although it really does make sense from both a player and team perspective, and we will talk about why it does in today's video, along with what Thomas Bryant brings to their team, and what kind of role we can expect him to fill. Without further ado though, let's dive right into it. And to begin, Thomas Bryant is a 24-year-old 6'10" center who was originally drafted by the Lakers. You might not remember it, but they did take him with the 42nd overall pick back in 2017, and he was a part of their Summer League championship team that year as well. Now, they unfortunately did end up waiving him a year later, which I still do not understand to this very day, but hey, I guess it all worked out, as he once again will be wearing the purple and gold. And oh boy, should they ever be happy with this one. You could argue that Thomas Bryant was one of the most talented centers available, and they've now managed to get him for a minimum contract. Now, I'm definitely referring to his offensive ability here, as he does leave a little bit to be desired on defense, but there is no question about what he can provide on offense. Thomas Bryant is a true 3-level scorer, and prior to him getting hurt, he was becoming one of the most prolific 3-point shooting fives in the entire league. From 2019 to 2021, Bryant shot over 41% from beyond the arc, and while that was only in 56 total games, it's a very good representation of how comfortable of a shooter he was becoming. Not only that though, but he was a handful to contain down low as well. He was scoring very efficiently around the rim, and doing it in a variety of different ways. He can post you up, catch lobs, beat his matchup down the court, and be an effective pick and roller as well, all of which make him very difficult to contain on offense. In that regard, he is pretty much the perfect modern day big on offense, and really an ideal complement to what they already have in Damian Jones. Bryant will provide them with more floor spacing and more overall versatility on offense. Meanwhile, Damian Jones will provide them with a more traditional type of big, one who will catch lobs, rebound at a high level, play hard defense, and really be relied on to do the dirty work for them. And while that is not to say that Thomas Bryant cannot do those things, they're not really his game. He is much more of a finesse player, one who would rather beat you with his skill rather than trying to bully you with his size. And in my opinion, that is what the Lakers needed. They've always played well with a traditional big, but they definitely lack one who could provide more modern day offense last season. They actually had that in Marc Gasol the year before, but unfortunately, he was a bit beyond his prime. And while I honestly thought that he was very good for them on offense yet, and definitely did not deserve the ridicule that he got, they would have greatly benefited from a younger version of him. Now, I'm not saying that is what Thomas Bryant is, because that would not even be remotely fair to compare them, but he will provide them with a little bit of what Gasol did, not really in regard to his playmaking, but primarily with his shooting ability, which will allow Anthony Davis to return to his preferred position at the 4, and that will now be a possibility regardless of if they keep Westbrook or not, which was the primary reason for why I wanted them to pick him up so badly. For whatever reason, some fans tend to believe that they went in the direction of a small ball lineup last year by choice, but in reality, it was primarily due to their lack of floor spacing. Neither DeAndre Jordan nor Dwight Howard could provide that for them, and honestly, nor could Anthony Davis either. And as we know, LeBron and Anthony Davis alone need a lot of 3-point shooting around them, But then when you throw in another ball-dominant player like Russ, and one who cannot help space the floor for them, you cannot hope to incorporate a two-big lineup without a three-point shooting big. That is what they tried to do though, and to absolutely no surprise, it ended in utter failure. But it does appear that they've learned their lesson. They got their traditional big man with Damian Jones, which they do like to have for certain moments, but now they also have their modern day big to provide more versatility. The only real problem with Thomas Bryant would have to be on defense. He has never been a great defender, and his recovery from a partially torn ACL may have set him back a little bit as well. Now, that is not to say that he can't make plays on defense, or cannot hope to improve either, because that would definitely not be true. He is a pretty good athlete for his size, and has some insanely long arms to complement that. It's really more about him becoming more committed on defense. He's always been a bit more offensively orientated, and has not brought the same kind of intensity to defense. But now that he is on a team with real expectations, maybe that will change. We all know how bright the lights shine in LA, and that comes with expectations. Even at a minimum contract, Bryant will be looked at to take a step forward, with him possibly playing into a fairly limited role, albeit a regular one. He will have to make an impact on defense to get more playing time, and especially if he hopes to crack their starting lineup, which is really an entire different argument in itself, but a good one to have nonetheless. And if they do end up keeping Westbrook, I don't think there's much of an argument to be had at all. I mean, that is if they plan to incorporate a two-big lineup again, because if they even hope to do that, Bryant would be the no-brainer option for their starting five. Now, I think we would all prefer to see Westbrook traded, and that does seem fairly likely to happen, but if it doesn't, then Thomas Bryant was the perfect player for them to pick up. Not only does he provide them with the floor spacing that they need, but he actually played with Westbrook back in Washington too, and although it was only for 10 total games, he did prove to be a good fit with him during that short time. Whether they keep Westbrook or not though, Bryant will be a great addition to their rotation. He'll allow them to play big again, and that is something that they have not been able to do for a while now. And other than Gorgui Dieng or maybe Serge Ibaka, Bryant was the best three-point shooting big they could have picked up. Yes, he did struggle a bit during the past year, but then again, he was working his way back from an injury. I imagine that he is fully recovered by now though, and getting a healthy Thomas Bryant for a minimum contract was undeniably a great deal. What do you guys think though? Was Thomas Bryant the perfect player for them to pick up to finalize their frontcourt depth? And do you think he should be a part of their starting lineup? Let me know your thoughts by commenting down below and we can talk about it there. That will do it for this video though. Big thank you to those of you who took the time to watch until the end of this video, and until the end of all of my videos in general. I really hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, be sure to drop a like on the video, subscribe to the channel if you have not already, and turn on notifications to get notified right away when I drop a new video. But as always, thank you for watching and have a great day.